Thank you, Alderman Farnwell, for being with us in the East Annex.
Always nice to visit the City Hall once in a great while.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, Alderman Meck?
Good. How are you, Mayor?
Good, sir. Happy New Year. Happy February, what, 23rd?
Yeah. Can you believe 2 months in already?
Yep, this year is going extremely fast.
Yep.
Hey, Randy. It's Jeff.
How you doing, Jeff?
I'm all right. How are you, sir?
All right, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 aldermen present, Your Honor, and it's 7 o'clock.
All right, are we ready to go?
Yep.
All right, we go. On June 26, 2020, the governor of Illinois issued a statewide disaster declaration related to the public health concerns. As head of this body, I've determined that an in-person meeting or a meeting otherwise conducted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act is neither practical nor prudent because of the disaster. This meeting would be conducted by internet teleconference without the physical presence of a quorum. Prior to the commencement of this meeting, all members of this body were verified and can see and hear one another. I further find that the physical presence of members of the public is not feasible at this meeting due to the disaster, and more specifically, the practical difficulties associated with accommodating the public in an accessible, hygienic location that would allow for appropriate social distancing. Alternative arrangements have been made to allow the public to contemporaneously hear all discussion and roll call votes live on the city's official website, on Facebook, and via Zoom teleconference. Notice of these arrangements have been given in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. The public may address this body consistent with the rules previously adopted and recorded and is adopted by mayoral order. This evening, we have Honorable Alderman Bill Farnwell, a member of this body, who's physically present at our regular meeting location. All votes shall be conducted by roll call, and a verbatim record of this meeting shall be made and then maintained in accordance with the Meetings Act. Mr. Clerk, could you read the title of the agenda, please?
Sure. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Blue Island, Illinois, held remotely on Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. as permitted by Executive Order 2020-07 signed by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker on March 16, 2020 in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. To participate remotely, download the Zoom app or call 312-626-6799. The City Council meeting webinar ID is 849-1680-7443 with a password of 124144.
And with that, I call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice
for all.
Could I have roll call, Mr. City Clerk?
Sure. Alexander. Alexander, I see you in that.
Here.
Alexander here. Bellato. Bellato absent. Casidas. Casidas absent. Rita. Rita absent. Donahue. Donahue absent. Hawley.
Here.
Hawley here. Farnwell.
Here.
Farnwell here. Hill.
Here.
Hill here. Meck.
Here.
Meck here. Carr.
Here.
Carr here. Zillman.
Hey, Randy, it's Jim Clinker. I got a text from her. She went to the eye doctor today and had a procedure, so she's not going to be at the meeting.
Okay.
She wanted me to let everyone know.
Okay, thank you. Zillman absent. Clinker.
I'm here.
Clinker here. Steve-O.
here.
Steve-O here. Johnson.
Here.
Johnson here. 9 present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Council, I want to take this opportunity to welcome a very special guest, let's put it this way, an adopted member of a resident of Blue Island, we call her the Honorable Cook County President Toni Preckwinkle. Before she speaks, I just want to highlight what Cook County and her board has done for us. And number one, as we know, most recently, the $465,000 for the demolition and remediation of 119th and Vincennes. In previous years, Cook County has provided CDBG grant money. Within this coming spring, we have 2 projects, Collins Street renovation and repavement from Western to Vincennes, 119th Place, again from Irving to the Metro Railroad Station. That's a CDBG. We also received $698,816 through the CARES Act for life support. A year ago, we received monies also for the demolition and remediation of 11941 Vincennes, the old Montel car dealership. And again, while we had the thing with the demolition at Vincennes at 11955, we were awarded and announced the $4 million for Division Street on between 119th construction design for the roadway between 119th Street to 123rd Division for heavy truck traffic. And then, as we all know, Cook County Medical Center here at Blue Island, that facility, the investment in that facility. And also, I want to thank Madam President for allowing us to tour the facility and what that facility is for our community and the surrounding communities. And the list goes on. So I formally welcome Cook County President Toni Preckwinkle.
President Preckwinkle is coming right up.
Well, thank you. Mayor Barkas, thank you very much for inviting me, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with you. I want to thank all the elected officials in Blue Island for their collaboration and cooperation as we all struggle to deal with this pandemic. I wanted to kind of give you an update on where we are in the county. First and foremost, we balanced our county budget without raising taxes. And I know that particularly property taxes are an issue in the Southland, and we wanted to be sure that we did not further burden, our residents. So I'm very grateful that we have a balanced budget. We also invested $100 million in an equity fund. We reduced fares working with Metro on the Rock Island and Metro Electric line, and we put money into the Halstead bus route so that there's more frequent service there. And for Rock Island and the Metro Electric line, we contributed county funds to increase service and reduce fares. So that's our equity investment in fair transit. We also invested another $30 million in supporting our Department of Public Health as they ramp up their vaccination efforts and continue their testing efforts. Put $20 million into our Bureau of Economic Development to support small businesses and gig workers as we've been doing throughout this pandemic. And last, invested another $20 million in our violence prevention, anti-recidivism, and restorative justice work in our Judicial Advisory Council. So that's our $100 million equity investment. I want you to know that we have stood up a number of mass vaccination sites in the Southland, Tinley Park Convention Center, Triton College in River Grove, and then a little closer, South Suburban College and Thornton Fractional South, where we're vaccinating educators and school personnel. And that's in addition to all of our clinics, where we're also providing shots. So we've tried hard, focused on the Southland to begin with in our vaccination efforts, because we know the communities in the Southland have been disproportionately hard hit by the pandemic. I want to be sure to remind you that there's a deadline coming up for community development block grant applications. That's for our social service, affordable housing kind of work. And then also for our Invest in Cook project. So bike trails, support for public transit, in addition to the usual, roads and bridges. So, I know that Al Kindle from the Bureau of Administration and the And the Department of Transportation Highways will be working with you to be sure that you have the information about those deadlines, but I wanted to share that with you as well. And
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you, Mayor Barker, again.
Thank you. You know what, Your Honor, I want to thank you and believing in Blue Island and in Cook County investing in our community, and also of your board and as well as yourself and believing in my administration and moving forward, not only Blue Island, but the Southland. And again, for all the things that I listed before of the amount of money invested in our community, we thank you from the bottom of our heart. And we promise you, we won't do you wrong. We will do what needs to be done to move not only Blue Island, but the Southland forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'm grateful, and I'm grateful to all of you for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for visiting us. And you're always welcome to join us anytime you want.
Thank you so much. Take care now.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Mayor. I'll be in touch.
Thank you very much, Al. Thank you.
All right, good night.
Good night. Thank you. We'll move on to number 4, presentation of journal proceedings. I'll need a motion to approve the city council minutes for the date of February 9th, 2021. I need a motion and a second.
Motion by Johnson.
Okay.
Alderman Johnson, motion. Do we have a second?
Mac,
Alderman Mack, second. Roll call, please.
Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita.
Abstain, sorry.
Rita, abstain. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac.
aye.
Mac, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 9 ayes and 1 abstention, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Could you read the next section, sir?
Sure. Public comment shall be by email only. Persons interested in making a public comment must email their public comment to rhoiser@cityofblueisland.org by February 23rd, 2021 at 6 p.m. Emailed public comments received will be read during the public comment portion of the meeting by City Clerk Randy Hoiser. We've got 2.
All right, go ahead.
Carol DePace Green, for 10 consecutive months, face mask, gloves, hand sanitizer, food, household items, Blue Island Library newsletters, tenant information, and gift cards were distributed. Thank you to our February 13th Together Blue Island Strong donors, helpers, and volunteers who worked together distributing face masks, hand sanitizer, food, gift cards, Blue Island Library newsletters, and bags from Cook County Health, Blue Island at Eisenhower High School, and special delivery. No questions asked. Via no contact drive-through in the snow, bitter cold temperatures, all these challenges did not diminish need in Blue Island. In fact, it multiplied the needs of our most vulnerable. People were asked to arrive by 10:30 a.m. because we don't want our volunteers in the cold for an extended period of time. Together, Blue Island Strong completed the highest number of special deliveries to date. Thank you to our helpers, donors, and volunteers. Ursula Blazek, Marisol Barrera, Alice Karatachea, Alice Collins from Cook County Health in Blue Island and Robbins, Cook County Reusable Face Mask from the City of Blue Island, Eisenhower High School, Caitlin Davies, Angelo Green, Donald Gross, Mason Johnson, Marsha Lee, Kelly and Don Lorenzen, Nancy Madrigal, Patty Maroney, Gabriel McGee, David Minetti, VP Custom Printing, David Power, Bella Reyes, Alex Smith, Victoria Torres, Jesse Walsh, DDE Leo Club, Amy Stevens, DDE Leo Club Advisor, Anna Wassner, Blue Island Public Library Director, Captain Luis Acosta, Blue Island Salvation Army, Neighborhood Watch Group 37, retired Alderman Nancy Thompson, Blue Island City Attorney Carrie Horvath, Blue Island Alderman Dexter Johnson, Blue Island Alderman Alan Stevo, City Clerk Randy Hoiser, Blue Island Mayor Domingo Vargas. Apologies in advance to anyone whose name could have been admitted. Our 11th consecutive No Questions Asked Public Service Together Blue Island Strong event will be March of 2021. Everyone remains welcome to volunteer, donate, help, pick up items, or request delivery. Then my public comment is, nearly a year ago, residents of Blue Island voted overwhelmingly in favor of three things: reduce the number of aldermen from 14 to 7, establish a road fund and use the savings from reduction in aldermen as a stepping off point in establishment of the road fund. At last night's Finance Committee meeting of the City of Blue Island, one of the aldermen indicated they plan to publicly share the so-called lies of this initiative. I would like to remind you and the public of the facts. There were 3 referenda placed before the voters in March of 2020, each passed overwhelmingly. The first binding referendum was to reduce the aldermanic count to our town, putting us in line with 31 South suburban communities who average 6.1 aldermen or trustees in their municipality. The second non-binding referendum was to establish a road fund. Why was this important? Because it dedicates funds that can only be spent for road repairs. Currently, the City of Blue Island pays for road improvements and repairs with scraps from the general fund. And for example, in 2019, $213,000 was appropriated for street resurfacing that didn't get done, and that money wasn't carried forward to 2020. The appropriation disappeared and an opportunity to resurface a section of the miles of streets in poor condition vanished. The majority block of the sitting body has failed to establish the road fund. The third non-binding referendum was to redirect the savings from the 7 aldermen used as seed money for the newly established road fund. Allocation of savings from this reduction is a symbolic but important first step in dedicating resources to prioritize repairing Blue Island streets. If we free resources, they must be directed somewhere else. Blue Island has spoken, and we want those resources directed towards our roads. Many of the aldermen on the sitting body are campaigning on the promise to address our roads. In fact, many made this promise in elections held 2 years ago and 4 years ago. Unfortunately, the majority block of this sitting body has failed to put forth a plan in 4 years. 4 years lost. That is unacceptable. A majority have been holding meaningful change for ransom, waiting to enact the change necessary to improve our wonderful city because they appear to be more worried about who will look good than addressing the citizens' concerns. You've been allowing politics to get in the way of good governance. Even after you failed to deliver on your past campaign promises, voters told you in no uncertain times to get to work on our roads. You have still failed to address these needs. In April, the voters will once again tell us what they want for our city. It is my hope that they will pick aldermen who plan to actually get things done for the good of our city, not themselves. Thank you.
All right. We move on to the report of city officials. Under the mayor's business, I'll need a motion to approve a request asking that the City of Blue Island partner with the Friends of the Chicago River to hold their annual river cleanup on Saturday, May the 8th, 2021, which is called the Chicago River Day. So I'll need a motion and a second, please.
Fernwald moves.
All right.
Alderman Steve, second.
Thank you very much. If no questions, I'll need a roll call, please.
Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell. I didn't
Aye.
hear you. Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac.
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 10 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Next, I'll need a motion and a second to approve the library using the city parking lot on York Street directly north of the library for small community events beginning March 20th, 2021. I'll need a motion and a second.
Alderman Carr, I'll make a motion.
Okay, Alderman Carr, motion, second by
Holly.
Alderman Hawley. If no questions, I'll need a roll call.
Question, Chief.
Yes.
They're gonna give us a heads up though, right?
In
Before
fact,
they have
the only ones that I have down for right now would be March the 20th, which is called the Snowman Burn Day. from 4 to 4:30. It's half an hour. And then the other one would be April the 24th, which is a Children's Day celebration from 2 to 4. It's a Zoom puppet show. And then June the 5th, Reading Colors, Your World's Summer Reading kickoff from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the only things that I have for right. Only those three.
Well, that's a heads up. Thank you.
All right. So I'll need we got a motion second.
Motion
Maybe
second,
roll call,
right.
please.
Alexander,
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita,
Aye.
Rita, aye. Holly,
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell,
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill,
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac,
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker,
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 10 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you much. Let me move on to now the mayor's announcements. A couple of major announcements. Number one, to watch and clear out the catch basins. Again, we know that the weather's improving. It was like 43 degrees today and possibly above freezing the next couple of days. So if you can help, the city can't do it by itself. If you can help the neighbors start cleaning out the catch basins to allow the water to drain into them. The other thing is start digging out the fire hydrants, giving it 3 feet around so that we can have access to the fire hydrants in case of emergency, and also to educate everyone not to cover up the fire hydrants in the first place. On a personal note, as we do during these difficult times, check on your neighbors. We personally, or myself, had checked up on a relative over the weekend who we thought we hadn't seen. So check up on them. The good thing is the relative was fine, but had not come out of the house for the last maybe 5 to 6 days. So check up on your neighbors, your loved ones, everyone, especially during these trying times. And again, 119th and Vincennes is gone forward. They've stopped a little bit because of the amount of snow. So once, I guess, the snow starts to melt, which it has already, they will start up for the continuing demolition and remediation of 119th and Vincennes. We received some information through the Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT, regarding railroad crossing grades. So we're looking into that, whether we qualify from 119th, 123rd, 127th, Union Street, Broadway, and specifically, I know there's talk between Posen, Dixmoor, ourselves regarding the 135th railroad crossing by the Libby's location. So we're looking into that, and hopefully that qualifies for an underpass there. A shout out to the Snow Brigade. We were very busy. We lost some volunteers because they moved out of town, but we got a couple more, and we're still, unfortunately, still helping people dig out from their homes and their driveways. Again, I want to shout out to all the volunteers who've assisted us since January 29th. And if you kept your math, we've had approximately like between 40 to 43 inches of snow since January 29th, which is a record, when Chicago O'Hare normally gets only 37 inches of record snow in a winter time. So we're above the normal. Again, also watch out for falling ice. Again, given that everything's melting. I want to make an announcement. We have 3 dogs that were picked up from our streets. One by 139th and Thornton. It's a female German Shepherd with a black collar. You can check her out on our Blue Island Police Department's website. She's like 5 to 6 years old. No chip, no tags. So check her out. We also have a 1 or 2 year old Siberian Husky, blue-eyed, with a collar. Again, no chip, no IDs. And we have, as we call her, the target dog. But this one, instead of just having 1 spot on the eye, has double spots on both eyes. So we picked that dog up, the Police Department, last night. So we're trying to unite these dogs back to their rightful owners. And if not, unfortunately, we're going to have to send them back to a shelter or see if anybody within the community is willing to adopt them legally. So a shout out to that. Again, if you see something, say something in the neighborhood. Recently, we had a little bit of a flare up of graffiti in around town. So I know we're all there. We should be all looking out for each other. We've known that there's been situations around us, including from Chicago with the carjackings. So I need everybody to be vigilant around and take care of your neighbors regarding things like that. That's all I have regarding the mayor's office. One last thing, we are putting a pressure on our audit to be completed, the 2019. We need that to be done so that our books can be reviewed by the public and see and compare it to where it was in 2018, 2019. And then I know they're working, we're putting pressure that they start also on the 2020. So we're asking our auditors to get that done as quickly as possible. Let me move on now to city clerk's business. Anything?
No business, Your Honor.
Any bids?
No bids, Your Honor.
We'll move on to the city treasurer. I'll need a motion and second the approval of the inter-fund transfers from unrestricted and restricted accounts.
Holly will move.
Walt second.
Thank you very much. If no questions, I'll need a roll call, please.
Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita.
No.
Rita, no. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac.
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
No.
Steve-O, no. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Mayor Vargas.
Aye.
Mayor Vargas, aye. 8 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Cash collection receipts report. Nothing there, just a report. And treasurer's nonsense, none. City attorney.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Committee reports, Community Development Committee, anything? Any of the members want to step up and read their for the resolution?
I'll read.
Thank you.
So our Community Development Committee meeting is tomorrow at 7 o'clock, I think. Resolution number 2021-004, a resolution of the City of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, supporting the renewal of a Class 6B real estate tax assessment classification for 2347 West 136th Street, the Samco Building Corporation.
You make a motion, Alderman?
Yes, I make a motion.
I'll need a second.
Alderman Carr, I'll second.
Thank you. If no questions, I'll need a roll call.
Sure. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac.
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
No.
Steve-O, no. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 9 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Anything else, Alderman?
That is it for Community Development.
Thank you very much. Finance Committee?
Finance Committee, we met on last night. I don't have the minutes from the meeting. However, there is a motion for approval of payroll for February 19, 2021 in the amount of $364,551.53.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it, Rita.
Thank you very much. Roll call if no questions.
Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell,
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill,
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac,
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker,
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 10 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have a motion for approval of accounts payable for February 24th, 2021 for the amount $244,973.89.
Got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, Farnwell.
Alderman Hill, second.
All right. Alderman Farnwell seconded. Roll call, please.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes, page 7 of the accounts payable, voucher number 131494 for the amount of $526.50. The explanation is Dwight D. Eisenhower School Improvements. I'm just curious, why are we paying this invoice?
Anybody have a answer for that?
I'm not aware of the reason for that. I do know, like I said, we had a finance committee last night and that invoice did not come up for any discussion.
It's the Robinson Engineering. Eric, that was that the engineering work for the football field?
Yeah, I was just checking it. Randy and Alderman Steve-O, so that's right. That's for the synthetic turf replacement at Eisenhower High School. It's a pass-through cost because it's a plan review. And I think that's getting passed through by the building department to the school, although I don't know how they work that out internally. They both go by.
Thank you, Eric. One more question. Page 8 voucher number 10459, the law office of C.N. Norris, $16,350. It explains Blue Island traffic deposition 2020. Do we know what that's for?
Sierra Norris is our attorney who represents the city in all our traffic matters in Markham. So that's the only explanation I can give you on that one.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Roll call, please.
I got a question, Mayor.
Yeah.
Are the because I don't have it in front of me, are the elected board members on this accounts payable?
Which ones are you talking
Alderman
about?
Johnson,
The election.
there's one on here for this one. It's Robert Bertucci. The others were paid as part of the last account payable. Mr. Bertucci's bill got, something happened with the payment to Mr. Bertucci. They only paid him a partial amount, so the balance of his bill for the first round of hearings is on this. It's $800. The remaining members were paid for the first round at the last payable. That cost for the first round of hearings was $7,924. Excuse me, $7,488. I just submitted bills for the public members for the hearing that was conducted last Friday, which was $7,924. But there's only one bill on the payables this time, and that's for Robert Bertucci. That's on page 6. And as I said, that's for $800. And that was a portion of his original bill. For some reason, when it went through the accounting office, they misunderstood the amount of the bill and only paid a portion of it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Attorney Horvath, this is Alderman Steve. I have a question, please.
Yes.
Could you give us a ballpark figure, approximately how much this has cost the city so far?
It is in excess of $50,000.
Excess of 50,000. Thank you.
Yes.
If no other questions, roll call, please.
Alexander,
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita,
No.
Rita, no. Holly,
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell,
Aye.
Fahrenwald, aye. Hill,
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac, Mac. He's
Yep.
gone.
Hello?
Yeah, on accounts payable,
Yep.
is that an aye?
Aye.
Aye. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker,
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 9 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, number 3 is a presentation of the 2019 audit status, and we have Stephanie Blanco that is on the call.
Okay, she can proceed.
Everyone, good evening. I'm just updating a very quick status update this evening for everybody to let you know where we stand. We have wrapped up the financial audit. We've received everything that we need. We're finalizing the report and we'll have it to the city personnel this week for them, along with the accountant, to review the copy of the report. So everything should be finalized by the end of the week. I anticipate getting a copy to all of the board members by early next week, that we can get those hard copies or electronically. And then the next step would be, which I did discuss with the finance committee last night, that at the March 8th meeting, we'll give our formal presentation, and then we can do that for the city as well.
All right, thank you very much.
This is Alderman Steve. Alderman Steve, I have a question for Ms. Blanco.
Yes.
Could you please tell us and the citizens of residents of Blue Island, why is John Kasparic Accounting, why have they held up the audit? Why has he held it up? He has time to donate $1,000 to the United Blue Island political party, but does not have time to finish the audit. Who told John Kasparic to hold off?
Nobody told our office to hold off on the audit at all.
Not that you know of?
No, we've been working on the audit since the books. We can get a timeline for you if you'd like, when we present with the audit, of when, there was a lot of factors last year that took into the accounting department and getting the books ready for completion. And we have been working diligently since then to get everything finalized. And we've just had several hurdles throughout the way, but we will have it ready. As I said, early next week, we should have the draft to everybody and then do the formal presentation.
The residents of Blue Island deserve better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. We have the resolution. Alderman, you want to read that one, please?
There's a resolution number 2021-005, a resolution approving the application for the Community Development Block Grants Program, year 2021, and authorizing the mayor to execute the application and do all things necessary to complete the application.
So we got a motion. I need a second, please.
Alderman Carl, second.
Thank you. If no questions, I'll need a roll call.
Alexander,
I'm sorry, clerk, I was
Sure.
trying to ask the question. Is this the Community Development Block Grant Program for the street surfacing?
This is basically what the community President Preckwinkle had mentioned.
Okay, aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita,
Aye.
Rita, aye. Holly,
Aye.
Holly, aye. Fahrenwald,
Aye.
Fahrenwald, aye. Hill,
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac,
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker,
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
Aye.
Johnson, aye. 10 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Anything else, Alderman?
That's it for finance.
Thank you. Public Health and Safety Committee.
We met last Tuesday. I do have the minutes from our January 19th meeting, so I'll read them here. January 19th, 2021, called to order 6:03 p.m. Roll call present were Alderman Fahrenwald, Clinker, Steve-O, Carr, Cazares, and Chief Rita, and Interim Chief Jeff Farr. Absent were Alderman Hill and Johnson. Also present was Kimberly Byrne. A motion was made by Carr, seconded by Farnwell to approve the minutes from the 2020 meeting. Roll call vote was held. All in favor, motion carried. There was no public comment. Under the fire department business, the chief reported the monthly report for December. There were 280 EMS responses, 82 fire responses, 5 auto aid responses, and 0 mutual aid responses. Medical reimbursement collected $58,085.97 for the month. Year-to-date total is $482,705.17. Fire recovery collected $1,665.81 for the month. Year-to-date total was $26,306.71. False alarm fees was 0 for the month. Year-to-date total was $700. Under calls of interest, the chief reported there were no calls of interest for the month, which being in his shoes, that's in the past, that's a good thing. General information, Chief Rita reported that he's continued with the COVID-19 task force in informing elected officials regularly, and he's preparing for 2021 appropriations. Under maintenance, truck 2114 is out of service with an outrigger jack issue. 2113 went in for preventative maintenance, front end work, and new tires. Under other, the chief presented a monthly training report, which showed 390.75 total hours of training for the month. Cardiac monitors have been ordered through the CARES Act funding. Chief reported overtime cost of $14,700.47 for the month, and there were 14 7G hours for the month. Under old business, the chief reported that he would be asking the city attorney to put the paramedic negotiations on the agenda for the next city council meeting. Medic school starts February 8th, 2021. Under new business, chief reported that he is working on preliminary numbers for appropriations with the finance director. He warned that they will be higher than years past. He offered to get together with Alderman Clinker to go over the appropriations. It was decided that he would check with the finance director for her approval, as the finance director has not, as the finance committee has not seen anything regarding appropriations yet, as of yet. Alderman Clinker stated he would meet with the chief if it was okay with the finance director. Under police department business, interim chief Farr reported that probationary officer Albert Rezick is in phase 2 of his 4-part training and was doing well. The department hired an additional full-time police clerk who was also undergoing training. Full-time staffing was 31. Chief Arzab retired. Sergeant Farr was sworn in as interim police chief on December 31st, 2020. The final hiring list was posted. There are 54 candidates on the list, of which 4 currently hold law enforcement certificates. The civil service approved hiring those 4 to defer the cost of state training. That will save the city $28,000. The STEP grant enforcement resulted in 48 seatbelt citations and 49 vehicles stopped. There's another enforcement period set for speed enforcement in February of 2021. The various revenue streams for the police department collected $32,728.38 for the month. There were 2,695 incidents, 4 firearms recovered, zero Narcan deployment for the month, 19 hours of training in the police department. Chief Farr reported overtime cost of $28,346.60, of which $719.25 was reimbursable. Chief mentioned he's looking into replacing the police department roof and the HVAC system and the keyless entry system. He has an estimate for $11,350 for the entry system from Videotech. He believes he can get that lowered by cutting the 3 old doors in the old 911 center from the estimate. He has another estimate for $7,600. He's waiting for Videotech's corrected estimate before moving forward. Chief Farr stated that he has 3 vendors for body-worn cameras, and findings will be presented and discussed during 2021 appropriations. The median annual cost for the proposals is $16,560. He also added the department would need to hire a civilian clerk to handle all the FOIA requests that will come in for body cameras. Under calls of interest, he included on December 1st, there was an involuntary manslaughter at 12456 Fairview. December 12th, there was a homicide at 2729 Des Plaines. And December 26th, the homicide at 12225 Western Tommy's Car Wash. Included in his report were also the clerical totals, sworn police totals, monthly patrol totals, and incident reports. Hang on, flip the page. Under new business, Chief Farr is meeting with the finance director regarding 2021 appropriations. These will reflect the roof, air conditioning, and entry repairs, system repairs. He plans on using federal funds for the entry system repairs. There was a discussion about body cams. Per Chief Farr, the state is mandating that we have them by 2025. He would like them sooner rather than later if the city can afford them. Alderman Carr spoke out about the number of shots fired in her area of town, including shots fired on November 1st, 2020 on Fairview. She's concerned about 4 or 5 recent gunfire incidents in her area. She stated she has not seen officers in her area. Chief Farr asked if she is still experiencing those problems since the involuntary manslaughter on December 1st, 2020. Was that on Fairview, the one that I just mentioned? Yep, on Fairview. She stated, no, Chief Farr believes the residents from that apartment were the cause for multiple incidents in that area, and they have since moved out of Blue Island. Chief Farr stated the city attorney informed him that he can hire the 4 pre-certified law enforcement officers off the list first. The department is starting background checks for these 4, as well as 3 additional names off the eligibility list. This was all approved by the Civil Service Commission. There is a police academy starting February 21st at the Macon County Training Facility. Alderman Clinker asked Chief Farr to send this information to the Finance Chairman Donahue for the Finance Committee's review if necessary. Citizen Kimberly Byrne presented some information regarding paid parking lots and additional parking concerns in the uptown area. This would include an area on Artesian designated for rideshare operations. This information has previously been presented to the city's Municipal Services Committee and is waiting to be reviewed by the Community Development Committee soon. She has discussed her proposal with Chief Farr, who supports them. Alderman Fairwald stated he is behind this idea as well. Last page. Alderman Steve-O inquired about the status of an animal control officer in the police department. Chief Farr stated the department does not currently employ an officer designated specifically for animal control. Alderman Steve-O would like this addressed during appropriations and have an officer assigned as an animal officer. Chief Farr and Alderman Steve-O will discuss this further. Alderman Steve-O asked if Chief Farr could put the Robbie Silva and Carlos Salgado cases in the cold case file. Chief Farr stated that the Blue Island Police Department does not have a cold case unit. He wanted to say both cases were investigated by Blue Island, and both cases also had independent investigations conducted. The independent investigations came to the same conclusions as the BIPD investigations. Alderman Steve-O stated the city needs a cold case unit to move these cases along. Chief Farr stated the state police investigated the Silva case and would probably not be receptive to take on the case again. Alderman Farnwald supports Alderman Steve-O on these issues. Alderman Clinker advised that he had asked the mayor via email about obstruction of justice charges in the Harrow case at the request of Alderman Steve-O early last year. The mayor replied that he had forwarded the request to the state's attorney's office. Alderman Steve-O had been made aware of that information at that time. Alderman Clinker advised that the issue of a local cold case unit should probably be brought up during the upcoming appropriations by Alderman Steve-O. Alderman Clinker advised Alderman Steve-O to bring his concerns to the mayor as well. There's a motion to adjourn at 6:58 by Alderman Farnwald, seconded by Alderman Cazares. Roll call vote was held. All in favor. Our next meeting is March 16th, 2021 at 6 p.m. on Zoom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alderman. Municipal Services Committee?
On a question, Alderman Steve-O, for the Public Health and Safety.
Go ahead.
Yes, I just want the Alderman to know that I requested to be placed on the agenda for the meeting, the fireworks ordinance 2021 revised, discuss purchasing new ambulance and fire truck, snow removal parking policy, odd even address rotation. Some streets it could work, others it won't work. Water Reclamation District Waterfalls Park security cameras paid for by Water Reclamation District. I also want the city council to know that the Illinois State Police has a unsolved crimes unit. Thank you.
And I would like to add that all of those issues, other than the purchase of the vehicles, were discussed at the meeting. And I gave my reasonings for not putting those on, such as the fireworks ordinance belongs in Judiciary Committee. The cameras that we're talking about down there at the park, those have been discussed multiple times. Emails have been sent. I'm not sure whether that's even at. So it's all been discussed in the past. That's why I didn't put them on the agenda.
It wouldn't hurt to bring it up. It wouldn't hurt to bring it up under old.
You know,
business,
Al, you bring up everything anyway,
Alderman.
so just keep bringing it up, okay? I know you're running for election. You want to look good, so just keep bringing it up.
No, you want to talk about the fireworks ordinance, but it has to come from 2 committees. We could have been the first committee and pass it on to the judiciary.
Al, we talked about it at Public Health and Safety last week, and we discussed it. And we also said that there's state laws that govern that. So that's the reason it's going to go to Judiciary Committee first, because I don't know what the state law is for that.
That's why we have a city attorney, Alderman. Let's move Blue Island forward.
The city attorney who works with the Judiciary Committee. That's why I suggested it goes there. Al, we talked about all this stuff. So just keep bringing it up all you want.
Doesn't hurt to bring it up under old business.
Thank you,
Okay,
Alderman.
Al, just keep bringing it up.
Okay.
Municipal Services Committee?
I'm sorry, Chief. I got a question.
Go ahead.
this is Alderman Johnson. Is it any way that we could bring in or have question the owners of those fairway apartment buildings, because it's just straight chaos. That study comes out there for him to have a tighter screening on his clientele that he helped. Get to move into those apartments, because it's a lot of chaos happening from there.
Council,
Alderman Johnson?
let me add this, Alderman. We had serious issues at the Vincent's Apartments, and we had a new ownership, and they instituted some regulations. So I don't know, Council, if we can implement or request that the owner implement similar conditions.
Is that a question to me, Mayor Vargas? I'm sorry.
Council, the question is whether or not we could request the present owner of the Fairview Apartments to adopt similar conditions or regulations as the Blue Station Apartments have. We haven't had, if any, issues anymore in the former Vincent's Apartments.
We certainly can approach the owner to find out or to discuss the issues that are causing concern. I'll follow up with Alderman Johnson and yourself after the meeting so that I can get a better idea of what it is you'd like to discuss, and then we can correspond with the owner to set up a meeting, if that's okay with you.
That's fine. Alderman Carr, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say, there is more than one owner for those apartment buildings. So it's not one owner that owns all 5 or 6 of those buildings that are down there.
Okay. So we'll have to track them down and get them all. All right. So we'll do that. Anything else for municipal services? Anything?
Oh, yeah, I do have my report from January the 12th.
Okay.
Present were Jim Polstro, Eric Alvarez, Bob Jackson, Ted Ruthenberg, Betty Harmeyer, Alderman Meck, Alderman Stevo, Alderman Rita, and Alderman Carr. Also present was Randy Heuser, and absent was Alderman Fairwald. The meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. Approval for minutes of the December 8th meeting, December 8th, 2020. A roll call vote was taken. All were in favor. Under citizens' concerns, there was a public comment sent in by Carol DePace Green. She wrote that for decades the Municipal Services Committee had failed to resolve the flooding issues in the northeast corner of Blue Island. There was a public comment sent in by Carol Mitchell Brown. She wrote that there is no way that with the municipal services of this city that she should be waiting decades for flooding relief. There was a public comment sent in by Janita Dawkins. She wrote that Dr. Johnson has an issue with the parking allocations on Western Avenue. His office is located at 12812 Southwestern in Blue Island, and currently the majority of the street parking is allocated for Cook County Medical Center. The lack of available parking is an extreme issue for his patients, who are mostly seniors. He would like for his clients to be able to park as close as possible to his business. And that was all for public comment. Under Public Works, Jim Postal gave his report for the month of December. There was a discussion on the stop sign at New Street and Maple Avenue. Alderman Rita said that Judiciary had an ordinance being drafted. Kimberly Burns sent an email to the chair regarding the parking proposal. She stated that currently there were no updates and she would not be attending the meeting. Under the Water Department, Betty Harmeyer gave her report for the month of December. There was a discussion regarding the email concerning water rates for customers who have fire suppression systems. Alderman Stevo said that businesses had contacted him and said they were being overcharged. Ms. Harmeyer reviewed the meter sizes and minimum charges. Alderman Stevo asked how many meters of 4-inch and 6-inch sizes there are. Ms. Harmeyer said that there are currently 29 6-inch meters and 19 4-inch meters. Alderman Fernwald said he was not sure if these charges were fair or not, and that we need to contact other communities to find out their charges. Alderman Rita asked for the dates when the charges for the size of the meters was determined, and that was determined by the fire department. Eric Alvarez said he would contact engineering firms and surrounding communities and find out what rates are being charged. For the John D. Reeder Rec Center, Bob Jackson sent the Rec Center report in for the alderman to review. Mr. Jackson thanked everyone who was responsible for making the Christmas event a success. Alderman Stevo asked Mr. Jackson what his duties are at the Rec Center. Mr. Jackson recounted his duties and activities for each day. Alderman Rita thanked Mr. Jackson for his service at the Rec Center. Under the golf course, Ted Ruthenberg reviewed his report of revenue and expenses at the Meadows Golf Course for the year. There was a net profit of $282,386. The expenses did include water, and the video revenue was estimated, period. Revenue was down due to COVID as no one was allowed in the bar. Mr. Ruthenberg is working with a local netting company for netting for the golf course. Other vendors have been somewhat unresponsive. Under Robinson Engineering, Eric Alvarez put together a review of all the ongoing projects. The streetlight modernization project looks like it will be 100% funded by ComEd grants. Mr. Alvarez said he would be open to doing another public meeting regarding the Irving Avenue reconstruction. Alderman Rita asked what the cost would be to do another meeting. Mr. Alvarez said another public meeting is not required, but they could hold a special meeting for concerned residents and businesses. Alderman Stevo asked for a meeting sooner than later to resolve the problems. Mr. Alvarez suggested that a Zoom meeting would be possible. Alderman Fernwald said there is a significant safety issue that should be explained to the residents. Mr. Alvarez said that the biggest safety concern was that people are forced to walk on the street on that section of Irving. Alderman Carr said she would contact Sarah Brown regarding putting together and advertising a meeting. The 11955 Vincennes building demolition project is underway. Actually, now it's finished. The Green Alley project is in detailed design. The sewer relief investigation, the Joe Werner plan project is underway, working on FEMA grants. The project has been held up due to COVID-19 and engineers not being able to get into their offices. Mr. Alvarez asked about the TIF projects put on hold last year and whether we would want to restart them. Alderman Rita advised that we should wait until we had our appropriation numbers in for 2021. Alderman Fernwald asked if we determined we were able to move forward, how quickly the projects could be started. Mr. Alvarez brought up the rain garden plantings in the 5th Ward. Alderman Meck said the residents do not want any more rain gardens. They cause rodent problems and crime problems because of the high growth of vegetation. Alderman Rita agreed. Jim Polstrell said that Public Works would cut the rain garden vegetation once or twice a year. Mr. Alvarez asked about the sewer maintenance program, which was put on hold last year. Alderman Rita asked about the 5th Ward. Mr. Alvarez said that an inspection was done in 2017. The 119th Place CDBG resurfacing project was approved by Finance last week. The county is paying for the construction costs. The call for federally funded projects is open now and will be closing in March. Mr. Alvarez said that there are roadway construction projects, CMAP call for projects, and the last one is TAP-L projects. Under Alderman concerns, Alderman Stevo asked that the letters for public comment be attached to the minutes since it was difficult to hear them. Alderman Stevo asked about do not litter signs. Mr. Polstrell said we do not have those. At 126 and Western by Olive Street, there's a bump in the northbound lane. Mr. Polstrell said that Mark Miller would have to contact IDOT. Alderman Stevo asked if we had an assistant supervisor at Public Works. There was a motion to adjourn by Alderman Rita, second by Alderman Meck. Roll call vote was taken. All in favor. Motion carried. Meeting ended at 6:58. Our next regular meeting will be March the 9th at 6 p.m.
Thank you very much.
That's all I have.
Could I
Thank
just
you.
ask for Alderman Carr, could I ask for a correction? I was in attendance. I think you listed me as absent in the minutes.
Oh, my error. Okay. Yeah,
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
I do remember the meeting, so that's good.
And actually, I mentioned you later in the meeting that you made a comment.
There you go, a
So-
giveaway.
My error, I'm sorry.
Thank you
You're
very
a
much.
man of two worlds.
Judiciary Committee.
No report. We didn't have a February meeting. There wasn't anything for the agenda. And then our next meeting, hopefully will be March. Sorry. I think it's March 23rd at 7.
March 16th, Nancy.
Thanks.
Third
March
Tuesday.
16th at 7 p.m.
Yeah, you're right after mine at 6, so it's March 16th.
Thanks.
Thank you much. Thank you much to both of you. Any aldermanic announcements or comments?
Yes, this is Alderman Hill. I had a constituent in the 5th Ward from the Vincent's apartment, and she had no heat during those really cold days, so I helped her out with those. And she said she called your office, Mayor, 2 weeks in a row, and she didn't get any answer. So
we did refer her to somebody, so we did speak out to her.
Okay, so you did speak up for her.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I reached out to, I guess it's Mark, who's the manager for those apartments over there at Blue Station.
Yes.
Yeah, so eventually we got her heat, which is good. So that's taken care of. Also, she was kind of aware that she wanted to have some other things done to those apartments over there because they're like really kind of tearing up the steps and stuff that you step up on. They're real rusted and the holes in them.
Okay.
So I went over there to her apartment to see how the heat was there, and she had like moisture coming down her walls. So I took pictures of them. I got pictures of that, and I got pictures of the metal steps, how they have holes in them.
I know
So,
that.
but we got.
Alderman, so I can let you know, the Blue Station had originally started with owners. They sold them, and then the original owners have come back now and taken over the facility. So hopefully, the ones that initially started it and improved the facility will now hopefully renovate them or bring them back up to how they were supposed to.
Okay, so they didn't give you a time frame for that?
Well, I know they own them now, so hopefully they're working out, given COVID and the bad weather. So hopefully they'll get back into them because each unit, as you know, has its own air conditioning unit. So I don't know if each one has its own furnace, but we'll look into that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Alderman Farnwald.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I've had numerous calls and concerns about the snow in the alleys during the last several weeks, and do want to definitely say that Public Works has been working really hard, and talked to Jim Postal a number of times, been very cooperative. But I've had to nevertheless deal with a number of legitimate complaints about the condition of the alleys, and to explain to them partly, the city is tight, and we don't really at that, and can't help but note that in this meeting, our city attorney has let us know that we can expect expenses in excess of $50,000 for challenges against virtually every candidate who is in opposition to United Blue Island. And it's just interesting that United Blue Island saw fit to mount these challenges to try to eliminate any opposition and to force the city residents of Blue Island to spend $50,000, which would have spent, probably over 1,000 hours of snow plowing time that we don't have.
What did you say?
Seems like not a real good way to have the city of Blue Island spend its money.
Who did you say submitted the petitions against the opponents?
Individuals did, but it's pretty obvious that coincidentally, United Blue Island was not challenged. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, they weren't challenged, but are you saying that they are the ones that challenged the opponents? Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm clear and I'm hearing exactly what you're saying.
Are you going to tell me they're not the ones? Are you going to tell me that?
I'm gonna ask you the question that I asked. Are you saying that they're the ones that challenged the opponent?
I don't know that for a fact.
Okay, if you don't know that for a fact, then don't say it.
I'd like you to tell me that they're not the ones then. For
They're not. Now, don't say it if you don't know it for sure.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is Bill again. I have another question about the garbage pickup. I've had some calls about the garbage pickup not being done right after the snow.
Yes.
And I called South Shore today and talked to, I guess, a young lady. And they said they're going to try to get the garbage done yesterday. And they told me the day before. And then they had put me on hold. Then they hung up on me. Then I called back. Then they played games back and forth. So I want to know, how can we solve that garbage problem of them picking up the garbage?
Get us that information, because we have the direct line, and they've been fairly good. When we had the last major snowstorm, they were right on top of it. They even worked on the weekends, and we got the person who is in charge of them. And they've been working very well with, so
I'm concerned about that because there was a lot of garbage. Me personally had garbage backed up to the Union.
forward the addresses, and we'll work on it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alderman Steve, 7th Ward.
Go ahead, Alderman.
Mayor Vargas and City Council, we'd like to have a public hearing on the hospital to explain exactly what's going on and get some feedback from the residents, see exactly what they want. And everyone I speak to, they really would like to see a hospital with an emergency room and a functioning hospital. And perhaps we should budget for that in the appropriation and maybe get a consulting company to assist us with this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Alderman Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Well, I wanted to say thank you to Jim Postal. He says all I do is put him down, but that's not true. It was a family that lives off Cleveland, and because of the amount of snow that we received, they're a very elderly couple, and I couldn't push all that snow to help them out. But long story short, I called Jim. Jim came out, and because there's a very short street, Cleveland is in my ward, and he came out and plowed it out. And the dialysis company was able to come and pick up the senior, her husband, Miss Carroll, and take him to dialysis because he hadn't been to dialysis because of the, for a few days because of the snow, which was affecting his health. And I just want to send a shout out to him and thank him.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Alderman Hill.
Yes,
I got
go ahead.
one more question. You spoke before about the odd and evens for the snow removal.
What was it?
About the snow removal, odd and evens of the street.
Yeah.
When we would have a committee or something, or some, where we can get together.
I guess it's been mentioned. It's there on municipal services. That's an issue that I think should go to committee and should be decided and put on the agenda to start discussion on that.
This is Alderman Rita. We discussed that in the past, and it came to the conclusion that it wouldn't work because we don't know when a snowstorm will happen. They do that in the city of Chicago when they, for like street cleaning. And we did discuss this at length, I believe in municipal services. I'm not sure if judiciary also discussed it. This was maybe 2 years ago. And it was decided amongst the city council at the time that it just wouldn't be beneficial for the city. We have a hard enough time just trying to get the constituents to move their cars that live on a snow route. So we just, it was discussed, just so you know.
Anybody
Okay,
else?
but what if we had something where if they didn't want to remove their cars, they would be fined, and that particular money from the fine would go to Public Works?
We do have that.
You know what? I'm open to suggestions, but it has to come out from you as Alderman to discuss this.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, Mayor. This is Alderman Johnson.
Yes,
Every ward is totally different from each other.
Right.
Because, but the thing is, and what I'm trying to say is that we have a blanketed law or an ordinance put out, but it's not sufficient in every area. You know, just like with the overnight parking thing, we really don't have that issue in the first ward. But the odd and even is not a bad idea. You know, since Alderman Nancy brought it up, but it probably works well in some of the wards, but not all the wards. You know, because some of those streets they only can get the pickup truck down. They can't even get the big truck down. But if you're gonna challenge somebody for parking on the street, then the alleys should be clean so they can be able to park in their garage.
Again, those are issues that need to be brought up and discussed among the aldermen. Any other comments?
Yeah, this is Jim Clinker. I have one thing to ask real quick. So I'm looking for help from you. Appropriations, I believe, have to be turned in to the county by the end of next month. I've been asking for reports for the last 2 years. I've been asking for information. We were given a timeline back in November from the finance department of how this appropriations process was going to go down. By this point in time, the finance committee should have had at least 2 or 3 looks at what's being done. We've seen zero, nothing at all. I've talked to the finance director in the past. I was then informed that I need to go through the chairman of the committee, which I've gone through the chairman of the committee. He said that he's going to ask. I'm not quite sure where that's at, but I just want to go on record as saying we're a month out from having to have this turned in, a month and a couple of days, and the finance committee hasn't even looked at it yet. And I find that appalling.
I understand that. Thank you.
So if there's anything you can do to help speed that along, I would appreciate it.
I will do my best, sir. I will do my best. Put pressure on them. Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else? If not, I need a motion for adjournment. A motion and a second.
I make a motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Who was the second?
Mac?
All right. Thank you, Alderman Mack. Roll call, please.
Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Mac.
Aye.
Mac, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. 9 ayes.
I'll add mine. Aye.
Okay. 10 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. Thank you.